Okay, welcome to the Friday video, everybody. So the posts are good this week. A lot of interesting reflections about patience and its effects, and really good experiences people are sharing. The class continues to be very uplifting for me. I hope it is for you too. It seems like it is. A lot of very positive things. So a few things to talk about. One is, how come somebody had a post in there, how come something is irritating for me and yet another thing is not? One of our students talked about how, when this person is in traffic, that's a drag, but but they can handle it easily, but the dishes not being straight. Now that's a kicker, right? Now, so here's an interesting chance to talk about some of the differences maybe between mindfulness and therapy, which is also useful but different. Okay, so from a therapeutic model, what we would do is we would look at one thing we would do is we would look at the causes. Like why is that there? So, let's say that we'll go with the dishes example. So why would it be that the dishes are irritating, And you can actually, get some benefit from that. You can look into it and realize something about your past or something about an association or something about needing things to be in a line or whatever. And it can bring some relief or not. It depends, From the perspective of mindfulness, all the tools that you need to work with are right here, right now. Okay, so the question of why, it might be very useful, and it's also kind of maybe unending. Well, if that's true, then why that? Well, if that's true, then why this? And it kind of keeps receding, see? So from a mindfulness point of view, the idea is that we want to, no matter what the causes are, who knows why the dishes or push the trigger and the traffic doesn't. Who knows why? But the fact is that here, this sensation of irritation is arising in me, so now I can have a chance to work with this, and so we do. See, so that's a difference there between some approaches to therapy and what we might call mindfulness. And there's a lot of crossover actually between therapeutic models and integrating mindful perspectives. So I can't even say that therapy does this and mindfulness does that. It's not really true. It's a blurring line, but that's one of the differences. In mindfulness, we don't necessarily want to take up a lot of time with why. We'd rather deal with like, what do we do, or how do we move on, or let's work with it here. That being said, sometimes I work with students, and I think that actually, and I recommend that, maybe some therapeutic stuff would be good to go back and look at the root causes of this to make some alleviation of the suffering there. It's fantastic sometimes. So a different topic. Most everybody agreed that that patience is something that you can practice, and that it would be nice to have unshakable patience. And I agree. And let's keep in mind that the way it really works is that irritation continues to rise. This is a very important point. Okay, the irritations continue to show up. It's just that we don't give them the keys to the car, as I like to say. We don't play. We don't get on the hook and and get hooked by it as much. Okay, and when we do, it tends to be for less amount of time, or we tend to not get hooked quite as readily, or this kind of thing. It's progress, but the irritation is always around. It's fine. We make peace with it. But even the best of us, even those that have been doing this for a long time, hey, come on, we're human. It's fine. You see it, acknowledge it, let it be, and just turn yourself back to, in this case, the practice of patience. So it's rather like, deciding to be healthy or to be fit. You don't go to the gym one time and work out and say, okay, I'm glad I did that. Now I'm fit for my life. No, it's an ongoing thing. See, so patience is like that. And the healthier you are, or the fitter you are, it's easier for you to stay fit and stay healthy, right? So when we start, if our patience is really maybe unexamined, maybe we've never thought about it as something you can do anything about, it might be more challenging than it will be after you've been doing this for a year. Let's say it like that, right? And then one other thing, a student made a comment saying that at one point they were unable to let go of the anger. So here's the thing, when you get into a situation where the anger is so much that you really can't let go of it, then don't. Just watch it. Okay, so you switch from letting be and returning to the patience in this case, or to the breath, you know. Maybe it's too strong, the energy around that is too strong, so just let it be there and watch it though. So you observe it, see. You can't go from an agitated state to a blissful state or a compassionate state right away. It's too big a leap. You have to go from, you know, irritated to neutral. And then from neutral, you can move into kind, let's say like that, okay? So if you find yourself really getting yanked around by irritation, or it's really strong, maybe you're not getting yanked around by it, but it's really there and it's trying to yank you around, right? Well, just turn your attention on it and watch it and just see it and stay in your own center. And in this way, you're creating some space between yourself and the irritation feeling that's rising. And that space is moving you more towards neutral, see? And when you get good at that, you get practiced at that, it starts to help lessen the effect. But sometimes the feelings are so strong and they're so compelling, they just continue to rise. And no matter how much we try to let them go, they're just not willing to be let go of just yet. There's too much energy around them. There's too much heat. So go ahead. Let them be there. It's fine. Just watch it. Just witness it. See. Okay. So hopefully those are some good distinctions. So for the Celio report this week, just press on as usual. Give me a nice weekend update of how the week's practice has been. You know, we're coming to the end of this thing, and we're going to talk about, you know, how to wrap the semester up and how to make things cool going forward. So let's do a nice, good, clean post this week on the Celio, and we'll take it up from there. Thanks, everybody.